On my way to the interview, my best friend, who had always warned me not to meddle in other people's business, suddenly rushed toward the crashed luxury car without hesitation. That was when I knew she had been reborn too. In our previous life, she and I were known as the two top aces of the finance department. After graduation, we both made it to the final interview at one of the world's top 500 companies. On the day of that interview, we encountered a terrible car accident. The company's president was inside the wreck. I gave up the interview to save him, while my friend ran straight to the interview without looking back. In the end, she got the offer, and I lost my chance at the prestigious firm. Everyone paid me. However, the president held a grand wedding to repay me. I became the wife of my friend's boss. I was admired and envied by all. She, on the other hand, struggled under endless performance targets. She got buried by work. At the company's annual gala, I stood beside the president, dazzling under the lights, while she faded into the crowd, exhausted and invisible. Jealousy drove her mad. She grabbed a knife and stabbed me right there at the gala. When I opened my eyes again, she and I had both returned to the day of the president's car accident. A sharp crash rang in my ears, and I opened my eyes wide. A runaway truck had slammed into a luxury car. The car door burst open, and Nicholas stumbled out. His face was pale, and blood seeped from his forehead. Before I could move, Vicky shot forward like an arrow and shoved me aside. She even threw me a wary glance over her shoulder. She knelt beside Nicholas. Her voice trembled with concern. "Sir, are you all right? Does anything hurt?" Then she turned and shouted at me, "Lydia, go to your interview or you'll be late. I'll handle things here. It's a matter of life and death." Her face was full of urgency and worry, but I could clearly see the suppressed delight and smugness hiding in her eyes. I knew then that she had been reborn too. I gave her a faint smile. "Fine, I'll leave it to you." Vicky froze and glanced back at me. "Why aren't you helping him? In the last life you..." Realizing what she had said, she fell silent. I already knew what she meant to say. I stopped paying attention to her. I turned and walked into the Wells Group building. As I entered the interview room, I felt an unprecedented calm. The chief interviewer was Peter White, the firm's investment director. He was also known as the Iron-Faced Director. He adjusted his glasses and his gaze was sharp. "Lydia Sterling, right? One of the two top aces of Princeton University's finance department? I've heard a lot about you. There's a case I would like you to analyze." He slid a file toward me. "A traditional manufacturing company is being overtaken by rising internet enterprises. Its market share has dropped by 70% in 3 years, and it is on the verge of bankruptcy. If you were part of our strategic investment department, how would you handle this?" I thought for a moment, then spoke with confidence. "I suggest abandoning acquisition plans and opting for equity partnership instead." Peter stayed silent for a long time, then suddenly smiled. "Lydia, report to my office tomorrow. You'll be a strategic analyst directly under my supervision." We exchanged a knowing smile. In my previous life, I missed this interview because I stopped to save someone. I lost my chance at Wells Group and at the finance career I loved. However, in this life, I would not miss out on any opportunities. When I walked out of the Wells Group building, a black luxury car slowly passed in front of me. The window was lowered. Vicky sat in the back seat, while Nicholas' assistant was attending to her every need respectfully. She noticed me, and her gaze was filled with contempt and pride. It was as if she was trying to say that I still lost after all. I met her gaze calmly, then looked away as if she were invisible. Even after being reborn, Vicky still did not understand. One man's treasure was another man's trash. Nothing ever came without a cost. On my first day at Wells Group, I was assigned to the same project Peter had mentioned during the interview. Peter gave me tremendous authority, almost handing over the core decision-making power to me entirely. Relying on my solid expertise, I moved swiftly and steadily from selecting partners to negotiating terms, then setting the market position for the new brand. Within a month, the project was already showing results. Peter praised me by name 3 times during the weekly meeting. He said, "Lydia, you were born for this job." I smiled but said nothing. Yes, I was born for this. In my past life, if not for Nicholas, I would have been standing here instead of being trapped in that gilded cage. While my career soared, Vicky's social media updates became constant.